what is the inner child? Because I have met people who are like, I'm an adult. Like, there's no child within me. Like, my child grew up. So for people that don't understand, what is the inner child? Who is the inner child? And how can an inner child live within us?
It's your subconscious. It's your spirit. It's the same part. It's the part of you that is innocent. The part of you needs to be taken care of. The part of you that wants to rest. The part of you that wants to play. It's the part that you suppress, basically. Right? In the moment that you split, you went with something and you're disconnected from something. That becomes your inner child, and it's always, always there. Always there.
And I guess at the end of it, it's energy. It's energy that is within your body that accumulated when you were young.
Yes, but it's so important because this is another truth that could be used as a spiritual bypassing. Yes, it is energy. In fact, we are energy. We were energy before we decided to create a physical body. Right? So yes, we are energy. When you think of different higher dimensions, you're like, absolutely, we're energy. But it's that consciousness, that energy that decided to create a physical experience. The progression, the evolution of that energy is to materialize. And how do we materialize? We have a physical body. You see that energy anywhere in the planet is energy that materializes in different forms, in trees, in animals, in bugs, in rocks. It's the different fabric. Sounds crazy. But it is an energy, right? It's an energy that is materializing because there is expansion in the next creation. In fact, one of the books on earth, one of the famous books on earth says that man was the greatest creation, right? There's the reason why. It's because it's the next level of evolution from the energy perspective. It's the materialization of that energy that can only experience life through this body. I mean, this is the reason why ghosts possess people, right? Because they cannot experience what they want to experience unless they have a physical body. So yes, this is very spiritual work. And yes, it is energy. However, because the physical body feels it, the brain translates it and sends the signals and sends the messages, it needs to be processed in the body.
100%.
It needs to be processed in the body. And that's why we attune to the body, to the sensations.
And I think another important aspect is if somebody has gone through traumatic childhood, right? And I know that Gabrielle Bernstein talks about little T trauma and big T trauma. So for somebody that's watching this and they've had such a traumatic childhood, no matter what it was, and they say, but I can't remember my childhood. So if I cannot remember memories from my childhood, can I still do inner child work? Absolutely. Can I access inner child work?
Yes. The very fact that you don't remember is an indication of how much trauma there is, right? Because why would you not want to remember? The reason why we don't remember is because the subconscious, in order to protect us yet again, it holds it until you're ready to see it. And so how do you know that you're ready? You begin to feel the sensations in the body. So that's the door that we're going to enter to access those memories. A lot of people develop a conditional relationship with their healing, expecting a memory. You don't have to have a memory if you feel it in the body. You cannot deny the feeling of a knot in your throat. You cannot deny the feeling of feeling floaty or feeling shaky. It's there. If you can just accept that that is there and that is real, and you don't have to have proof, like a memory, and you can just give presence to that, you start there, and little by little, you get more and more and more, and eventually you get the whole picture, because that's the other thing you have to remember. We have 5 senses. We have more, but for the sake of humanity, we have 5 senses. We receive information all the time, right? And we're only processing so much, but it's coming from all directions. Sounds, smells, tastes, everywhere. The brain stores that information in different parts of the brain. Visual, sensories, actions, locomotory, hearing, auditories, right? Visuals, I mean, everything. It breaks down, like, I don't know how many I mentioned already. All you have to do is access one. Start there. Access one of those data points that create a memory, because a memory has physical sensations, has smells, has auditories, has like a taste, a flavor, a smell, something with it. Right? That's why when you're walking on the street and you smell fresh baked cookies, you're like, reminds me of grandma. Because that smell immediately
associated that.
created a connection.
memory,
Exactly.
yeah.
So the exact same thing happens here. So no, you don't have to have a memory, because there's always something available, which is a somatic sensation that will make that connection. And you don't have to do it. The subconscious does it.
Like I said, with my experience, after I released during the breath work, which by the way was very hard for me. Like you were looking at me. You were like, come on, surrender.
Give it a try.
And I feel like I still didn't really go through like that breath work process of like that breath of fire, but I just stayed with it. I just stayed with the breath. And I was like, you know what? I just trust that this process is going to let me go deep. And when I finally got there and I released it and I came out, I was like, I don't know what memory I just released. I have no clue, but I just know that the body released energy.
Yeah.
And that's good enough for me.
And you felt the difference. So
immediately.
In some cases you'll have a visual, some cases you don't, because
you can't force that.
Exactly. It is. It's thinking of this way. It's like, if I am your subconscious, can I trust you? Can I trust you? If I am the inner child, can I trust you to show you all of my pain, or can I give you a little bit at a time and see how do you react?
Yes.
Right. So you have to earn the trust of that. Why? Because in a sense, we already betray ourselves by neglecting ourselves, right?
Yeah.
So especially when we neglect ourselves, we're constantly betraying ourselves. You have to establish a relationship of trust with the inner child. Yeah. And so, in that case, it's like, can you sit with the sensation, whatever sensation is there? Can we start there? And if you already no, unless you give me a picture, then you're putting a condition into that relationship. It's no different than telling a boyfriend, unless you do this, I cannot be with you. Versus, you know what? I mean, obviously in some cases you need boundaries, right?
Yeah, of course.
But I'm using for the sake of the example of, we always put a condition to love somebody. So we just had to end the conditioned relationship we have with ourselves, so that we can really access those truths, and then more truths will come. And it's just, you have to think of it like an onion. You peel one layer, then it's another
Revealing
layer, it's
itself.
another layer, and little comes.
Yeah.
For example, a lot of people think they're afraid because they're like, oh, there's grief. Okay, we'll feel the grief.
Yeah.
And after the grief, we're like, oh, now I'm anger. And they think they're regressing or they're getting worse, and it's actually no, because all of that was there. You're just peeling it and it's surfacing. So healing is happening because it's rising, but it's also painful because it's the next layer. So you had to see it like an onion, that multiple things are happening, just coming up, the pain or the flavor of the pain. But at the same time, because you're peeling, both the things are happening together. I'm releasing and more is surfacing, right? So if you can sit with that,
so that's what Resham actually made me realize, because when I was like, I guess I've never done this. Like, I guess I've just, never healed this part of me. And she's like, no, you did. This is just another layer.
Exactly.
And so all the tapping that you did, all the meditations that you did, all the times you sat still with yourself and you breathed through pain, that was an aspect of you healing. That was one layer of that healing. So it's not like all the things you did didn't matter. It actually brought you here. And the reason why I was able to access that memory was because, like you said, it started stacking up, and it's just closer to the surface. So no meditation or no energy work or no tapping is a waste of time.
No, not at all. And I want to make sure that that we make that very clear. All the modalities help. All of them help, right? It helps to where you are in the moment that you receive the help, right? Because imagine if you're like, have this belief the pills work, and I come and I put my belief, no, pills do not work. I just do a disservice to you, because if you have that belief, they're gonna work for you, right? So we always have to make sure to know where are you at. If you think tapping is gonna work, then you better go for that, because that's the belief already, right?
Correct.
And so you have to go for where you're at.